entitled sister tries to get my brother to lie about her hitting me to get out of trouble, but my little bro had my back. For a little background, my little brother is on the autism spectrum, but he always likes to help people when he learns a useful skill. On this fateful day, it was no different. It was his turn to do our laundry since we share a room, and he takes care of it while I'm busy, as I mentioned earlier. He discovered that my sister's clothes were still in the washer instead of being in the dryer, as a responsible person would have done. However, this was no problem for my little brother. He simply moved them into the dryer for her and even ran the clothes through the dryer so he could wash his own clothes. By the time his clothes were done, our sister still hadn't come to collect her clothes. So, my brother put them in a bag and took them into our grandmother's room. She used to sleep in there, to make space for our clothes in the dryer. A few hours later, all hell broke loose. My sister emerged from the laundry room, screaming like a banshee about someone stealing her clothes. Initially, my brother denied taking care of her laundry because my sister seemed like she was going to harm the person who did it, as if they had deliberately ruined her clothes. However, he eventually confessed to putting her clothes in the dryer and taking them to our grandmother's room. My sister demanded that my brother show her where the clothes were and proceeded to verbally abuse him all the way there. Hearing all this verbal abuse, I decided to confront my sister and tell her off. I pointed out that my brother had taken responsibility for something she should have done herself. If he hadn't done what he did, my sister would have been left with a pile of wet and smelly clothes, requiring her to wash them again. Her response was to kick me right in the stomach, and I wasn't going to let it slide easily. At the time, I was a 6 feet male, and my mother had told me that hitting people in public or those much younger than me probably wouldn't be allowed, but dealing with my older sister was different. As she attempted to strike me again, I swiftly grabbed her and threw her onto the bed before punching her in the back. My sister started scratching my neck and biting my arm, but I eventually gained the upper hand, pinned her down, and punched her again, warning her never to try something like that again. I then left the room with my little brother. Not 30 seconds after I left, I saw my sister chasing after me with some sort of wooden object in her hand. I quickly turned around and ducked, but she threw it straight at the back of my head, causing it to break, the object she threw, not my head. My grandma witnessed this, and my father heard the crack, immediately rushing downstairs to see what had happened. Meanwhile, I ran to my room, lay down, and tried to ease the pain. When I came back out, my sister was in tears, and my father, mother, and grandmother were all trying to find out why she did this. She kept insisting that I had hit her, which was true, yet my mom argued that most of the time I wouldn't have hit her if she hadn't struck me first. Then my sister turned to my little brother and asked him to tell them what happened, likely hoping that he would lie, and she would reward him later. But he didn't. My brother said that my sister had been bullying him, and I had come to defend him before she kicked me. Seeing the fear in her eyes and the rest of my family converging on her like a pack of wolves made every second of sharing a room with my younger brother worthwhile.